The Buford McGee style. Here we go. Now check this out. Hell, I'm riding in my truck on the Tuesday night, riding down by T trying to start a fight. My name is Buford. I'm from Alabaster. I'm a low down dude, two back, right, crack the road tide. Road tide. Right. I'm an Alabama fan for the rest of my life. I'm the man. My name is Buford, y'all, and I'm the goddamn king at the trucker's ball. Road tide. Road tide. Road tide, road tide, road tide. I'm Buford, I'm the man of your dreams. By the way, who's Martin Luther King? And now Elvis, you know he's the king that got darn hell. I thought he had a dream. Now don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart. I just don't think they'll understand. Whoa, road tide. And if you tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart, I'll roll over you in my goddamn truck, man. Alabama fan for life. Road tide, road tide, road tide, road tide, road tide. Hell, I want to send a shout out to my wife, Thelma, and Buck Wild, and African, Courtney, Deja Vu, Rex and the Fact, Lee Bryant, comedian from Def Comedy Jam, Ricky Smiley, and my frat brothers from the KKK. It stands for Capper. I'm going to Walmart to get me a six-pack of Bud Light. Goddamn right! Road tide!
All right, good day to Bama fans and Bama fans only. I would like to welcome you all to the Elephant in the Room podcast. We have Mr. Anthony Likes, Dre Davis, and myself, Finn. Fellas, how we doing this evening?
Fantastic. I tell you, what a weekend. Fantastic. You hear me?
Can't complain. On to the next one. 13
Roll.
days of rest.
Roll
Gotta
Tide.
get comfortable, man. We ain't professional.
To
Roll
jump
Tide,
in,
fellas.
let's start with, we ain't worried about the Group of 5 game. Let's start
Shout out
with
to the G5s, man.
Miami and Texas A&M. What was y'all take on that game?
All right, Dre. Remember we had that talk the other day, and I said whichever quarterback don't put the ball in harm's way, it's probably gonna be the
Right.
team that win.
Yeah.
Marcel Reed has problems with downfield accuracy all season long, and it showed his ugly face this past weekend in this matchup with Miami. Miami does have an elite pass rush, a great set of edge rusher, Bain being one of the best ones in college football. But yes, this is what happens in playoff football. Miami wasn't going to let them run the ball. You already got a quarterback that's limited as far as the passes go. So with that, it kind of made Texas A&M one-dimensional. And on top of that, the weather was doing more damage at one point in the game than what the teams were doing to each other. That win was, no pun intended, kicking. But another thing, A&M outside of Notre Dame, they really didn't play anybody this year. I mean, they beat Missouri. They, struggled with Auburn. They were down 1 million points to South Carolina and overcame that. Then we see they big brother did a number on them. Marcel Reed struggled in that game as well. So mainly all the the 2 games that Texas A&M lost, Marcel Reed had turnovers in. And my thing is, too, late in the game, when Texas A&M got the ball with that last minute in the red zone, granted, 30 seconds or less, but you still can kind of use your quarterback's greatest asset, his legs, to try to get it to the end zone or try to push it closer to the end zone. Because 30 seconds inside the 5-yard line is an eternity in football, in a football aspect. You just got to make sure you hurry up and get to the ball. You don't got that far to run to get to the ball. So there's that. So I was kind of surprised that they didn't have any plays designed for Marcel Reed to use his legs in that situation. They just wanted to make him, and of course, windows are tight, that close to the end zone. So, and those windows closed pretty quick. He had a guy, he tried to anticipate it a little bit, but he was a little late on the pass and he got intercepted. He could have squeezed it in the window, but, when you got a quarterback that's mainly run first, those passes are few and far between. Shout out to Mike Elko and their defense. They held it down, but Carson Beck, like I said, he didn't have the greatest game, but hey, he didn't turn the ball over. So that's what, really what it came down to, which offense was going to finally show up and, put their team in position to win. Granted, Miami did miss 3 field goals. So the score could have been like 16-3, So, but hey, final score 10-3. Hats off to Miami. Congratulations. You go on to Ohio State. And that's all I pretty much got for that. Gig 'em.
I know we're going to talk about the latter part of what I'm about to say later, but in 2 of the 4 games yesterday, the environment played against the home team. And I kind of talked about it the other night when we were talking about, we were previewing the games, that the good and bad thing about having a home playoff game is that you use that energy to prepare yourself, but then also every time the crowd goes silent, just like the crowd, the game goes flat. And for what took place in a very defensive battle throughout that entire game, a game filled with a lot of twists and turns, a lot of defensive stops. I thought both defenses played very, very good, very up to par. I think, for an 11 o'clock game, I think it was a little bit of a snoozer because you're not getting the points that you want. But if you watch the game, then you know how good of quality that game was between those two opponents. The difference being the fourth quarter, a couple of plays here and there, a big run, a turnover. Malachi Tony, was down on himself on that. He later came in to score the touchdown to, punch it in. Just a really hard fought game for Miami. They, just like us, were one of those that were highly criticized for even getting into the playoffs to begin with. And so just like we did, they had to go out and show their worth yesterday. And so I feel like, going out and beating a team that was a top 5 team, top 3 team just a couple of weeks ago before losing to Texas, still going on to, a hostile environment, early morning game, got to change the routine, like I said the other day. Carson Beck, that's his first time starting in 5 years of college football. He has never started a college football playoff game. And so for him to show up and to, make that impact, and like you said, he didn't have the best day, but he led his team to victory. And when you don't put the ball in harm's way, you don't have a lot of stall drives. He put his team in more positions to put points on the board than Marcel Reed and A&M did. And that's what's really important about that. But yeah, like you said, they own Ohio State now, and I know we're not previewing that yet, but, when we do, I know I have some pretty strong thoughts about it at that time.
I watched a little bit of the game, and basically what I saw, defensive battle. Miami just found a way to win it in the hostile environment and with the windy conditions. Those last 30 seconds, I think Texas A&M could have managed it a little bit better. Like Ant said, they had at least 35 or 40 seconds. Let's just say, instead of throwing it, okay, you that close, use Reed's best asset, his legs. Let's just say you can do a quarterback draw, okay, get back on the ball, spike it. It's probably what, 25 to 20 seconds. Get your play call in. Let's just say we're running, okay? Run it again. We don't get it, spike it. That brings us third down. Probably at the 1, do the same thing, run it. And then if you don't get it, you got enough time, spike it. Fourth down, probably 5 seconds left. Hopefully this time you get in. So with that, I felt like Texas A&M kind of rushed it, because like Ant said, if you that close, time on your side. Because players, they don't have far to get back on the line. Just common sense, okay? You get tackled, let's go and get on the ball, spike it. And to also throw it across the middle within the 10 to 5 yard line. You already know it. The chances of an interception are very high going across the middle in the red zone. So with that, I just felt like, they rushed it and during that time. But hats off to Miami to go in there, hostile environment, come out with the win. It wasn't the prettiest, but any win I'm pretty sure they'll take that win any day over a loss. Especially the fact that everybody said that they shouldn't be in and Notre Dame should be in. So congrats to Miami on the big win on yesterday.
The funniest thing about that too is those two teams beat Notre Dame. I don't care what point you can sit here and argue and say, because my thing with that too, because you can't say Notre Dame isn't the same team, but then you still try to hang on to Alabama's loss to Florida State from week 1. So you can't, you know what I'm saying? You got to pick a side and choose a side. But yeah, moving forward, well, Colin Klein, offensive coordinator for Texas A&M, he's going back to his home school, Kansas State. So it's interesting. Are they going to promote from within as far as the next OC? They probably done it already. We just don't know it. Matter of fact, yes, they did. Former Alabama receiving coach Holloman Wiggins will now be taking over. But does he want? But I just want to know, will they find another quarterback moving forward is a real question. Like, because they're going to sit back and watch this. Like, there were some plays that we still could have made if we had the right quarterback. Because Marcel Reed early in the game, too, that's crazy. Early in the game, it was three plays. He used his legs to get out of there and move the chains. And then all of a sudden, when it was time to actually, use his legs to tie the game up, we seen what happened. Didn't use them. And shout out to the star of the game. Wasn't even on the field. Wasn't even dressed out. Michael Irvin. Shout out to Michael Irvin, man. That guy's animated, man. The guy's animated, man. But hats off to Miami, because we all, how we used to always clown Miami for not even making it to this point, because they would win a bunch of games, and then when it get down to the thick and thin of it, when the playoff rankings started coming out, they would fall flat on their face. Oh. So they got a new coach in crystal ball. I mean, it happened to them last year, but this year they had managed to stay amongst talks in the playoff bracket, and they got in. So there's that. So shout out to Coach Cristobal for getting his guys ready to play this game, because like you said, that 11 o'clock kickoff is pretty brutal.
Tough. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough, especially when you're on the road. So
that's pretty much, like I said, I'm pretty much done with that. We can put a bow on it. James Madison, Tulane. Yeah, we already knew what was going to happen with that. But Finn, on to the next topic, man. Here we go.
So we can go ahead and go into it, or since we're not talking about it.
No, yeah, we ain't.
Elephant in the room. Alabama versus Oklahoma. Friday night, 7 p.m. What was y'all's take on this game?
Start, because I think I'm on a anti-villain arc today in today's episode. I'm very overjoyed that we came out with the victory, and I think my favorite word to say about this team all season, about resiliency, will continue to be the word that is uttered from my mouth every episode of this podcast, especially for this season. But I want to stop for a second, because we are at playoff time, and so this is a tale of two halves, and I am glad that we are a second half team. We are a team that knows how to finish when the time is necessary. We saw that in the Auburn game. We saw that again this past Friday. But what disappoints me the most, and what will disappoint me going forward, is how we performed in the first half. I don't think it was just defensively, because I still feel like defense is our strong suit for this team. But offensively, now that we are in the playoffs, now that we're getting ready to face more and more quality opponents as we continue, if we are able to continue from week to week, we got to get a faster start. The first half looked like the last 3 or 4 weeks that we had been through. And so at first that kind of spelled bad news for the Tide, but we kind of picked it up there, in the second quarter. Got things going, got back on track. I've been talking about it since the Florida State week. Ty looks like a completely different quarterback when he's blitzed versus when he is able to stand in the pocket and just make throws. And so with that, we still haven't found any type of run game. Again, we saw Friday. It was just a tough slate trying to get anything going, running the ball. But we were able to make, some good plays offensively. Like I said, I still feel like the defense is the strong suit of the team. We were bad, but Oklahoma was just as bad. So, for us to go for a third time in 14 or 15 months and play the team that had just beat us twice, and for us to overcome the odds, the environment, the night game, the Friday night, the you just played in the SEC championship less than 10 days, and you still kind of beat up and banged up, and for you to come away with the victory is big time for the Tide. So, just keeping that momentum going, keeping this dream alive for this team. This very, very resilient team is very good for us. Indiana is, it's not going to be any easier. I think physicality is what it's going to come down to. Like I said, I know we're not previewing that yet, but my biggest, like I just said a couple of seconds ago, or at the beginning, 13 days of rest is the first thing I thought about. I said it to y'all, how much we can get back before we get to the next game. Finn talked about it in the preview show. We got so much time between a victory and the next time we play. So, all the players we can get back healthy. We can, iron out more wrinkles to this offense, put some more tricks in the hat for the defense and become a more complete team. I told you, and I still got the message screenshot, man. I told you back in August, this could potentially be a national championship team, and wins like Friday night, no matter who in the committee thinks it, no matter what the Notre Dame fans think, no matter what Texas or anybody else thinks, we belonged in the playoffs, and we showed that Friday night. And if we're able to go in 10 days from now and beat Indiana, I think we're just as much of a shoe-in to win it all as anybody else. So, that's really all I got from Friday. But, roll tide, man. I'm just glad we got the victory.
This takes me back to the year 2011. Okay. First round of the playoffs, Friday night, we play a team named Alma Bryant. Okay, make quick work of them. The following week, we got the defending champs. We got a 5-star running back named TJ Yeldon and the Daphne Trojans. This game is like basically what you're speaking of. Win this game, propel us forward. But I'm going to take it back. Can't play the song because I ain't trying to get copyrighted, but I can sing the words to it. Many man, wish death upon me. Shout out to 50. Going down 17-0. And there's a lot of key plays that happen in this game. Biggest play in the game, 3rd and 5. We find Latsir Brooks, convert, first down, keep the drive alive, and basically keep season alive at the point. Okay, cool. Latsir Brooks also pays it off with a touchdown, a gritty touchdown. Makes guys miss, dives it to the end zone. Down 10 points, but guess what? You can start to see the team get a post. All right? Granted, you can say woulda, coulda, shoulda. John Mateer coulda ran and got the first down, but not gonna lie. If I see a guy wide open down the field, 9 times out of 10, I'm expecting him to make that catch if I hit him, especially if I hit him right in the hands. The guy drops it. Okay, cool. Punt the ball, we pin y'all back. Punter bobble the snap. We fall on it. Now, my only thing is, what could have been had Alabama actually scored right there to make it 17-14, then with Xavier Brown coming back and getting the pick 6. Now we go up halftime 21-17 instead of being tied. Of course, Xavier Brown did what he did, and pretty much you can kind of say, hey, this is back at 0. We back at square one now. We tied up. Second half is 0-0. Start the second half. The usual Alabama football, either 3 plays and out, 4 plays and out. We giving the ball back. Ryan Williams could have made a play in the second half to basically, I feel like, give us an extra needed spark, but it is what it is. Drops it. Now we punting it again to start the second half, but credit to the defense. Kane Womack as well for making those necessary adjustments. Not sitting back, actually attacking this quarterback because, he's going to be off for some throws. Get the ball back on offense. Once again, that guy, Latsir Brooks. But shout out to Ryan Grubb too, because I guess somebody put it in Ryan Grubb's ear. Hey, it is okay for us to, we getting these quick 5-6 yard quick game passes to get your quarterback in rhythm. Now they can't just sit here and tee off on the quarterback and blitz every time. So now they gotta, wherever or if they still sending pressure, we just throw the ball to wherever the guys was blitzing from. Easy, simple, keeping the chains moving, positive downs. All right. Now we going. Lassie Brooks again. Now we see you talking about Ty. We need to work on that deep ball. Well, guess what? It showed last night. 3 big throws, 3 big time throws. Per se, the most accurate, with the except Isaiah Horton, because Brooks did have to adjust on a couple, but you give your guy a chance to catch it. That's all you have to do. Give your guy a chance to catch the ball. Brooks made the necessary plays to catch the ball. Bernard, I don't know if Bernard got caught in the lights again on that 3rd down, but it is what it is. But kudos to Ryan Grubb. But my biggest thing is when you look at the stat sheet as far as the run game, Daniel Hill, 9 carries, 43 yards, average yards per rush, 4.8. So if I have a running back that is averaging almost 5 yards a carry, that needs to be my back. That needs to be my running back. Jam Miller, hey man, I don't know what we doing with Jam, but it's not working. Daniel Hill has its potential to be the Bo Scarborough that we need to carry us to a national championship as far as the run game goes. Just let him get hot. Those 9 carries can possibly turn into 15 carries for 80 yards, 90 yards. We never know. We just need to give him a chance. Like I said, let Ty get in rhythm. You see a lot of these teams we playing, they got their quarterbacks doing bubble screens, smoke screens. Got them doing all that to keep that arm loose and ready. So that's pretty much. But way to fight back. Great, like you said, the name of the team for this year, the whole year is Resiliency. Get punched in the mouth this time, because the 2 of the 3 losses get punched in the mouth and you didn't respond. This time you get punched in the mouth, you get up off the mat, and you fight back. You pretty much take the air out of the building, because we all know, like we said, this offense, Oklahoma's offense struggles in situations, so we took advantage of it. But my only thing is, too, a lot of these pundits and experts knew that Oklahoma had offensive problems, but they still picked them to win. And then when the game is over, now we want to go back on what we said and say, well, we knew that this team been up and down all year, or this team was struggling all year. Like, no. So why did you pick them to win? Against your better judgment. If you seen on tape what they put out, why would you pick them to win against Alabama? That's my only question. But great job. On to the next round. Like I said, everybody starts 0-0, but 1-0 now since we're in the tournament. Put us in the tournament, give us a chance. Survive in advance and wake up, smell the roses. That's all I got. It's yours, fam.
All right, for this game preview. Well, to start off, Alabama going to the next round. The SEC grind is over. And here's what I mean by that. Alabama has played 14 games. Out of those 14, 4 of them have been non-conference. You've had 10 SEC games. 2 of them you lost by a total. Well, one of them was the SEC championship. Even though they were hurt and beat up, they still had to compete and find a way to win. They lost that one. You lost to Oklahoma. Had too many turnovers, but you still lost by 2 points. What I mean by the SEC grind, in the SEC had a total of 8 teams with a winning record. Your 6 bottom half, 2 of them had the potential to be bowl eligible if they had a win. So I say that to say this, and this is just my opinion. Now that Bama has gone through the SEC gauntlet, these 10 games, I think now that they start to see opponents like an Indiana or Oregon, Texas Tech, I think we see a different team because, in my opinion, Bama has seen the best defenses that they're going to see in this playoff. They faced Auburn. They faced Georgia twice. They faced Oklahoma twice. So if you face the best defenses in the nation twice, then you're going against Indiana, who again, they've played Ohio State. They haven't really been battle tested. Whereas Bama, pretty much 85% of their schedule, they've been tested. So with that, I think we see a different Bama team, but I'm gonna go ahead and go into this game. As I was watching, Oklahoma went up 17 points very quickly. And the reason why, they had a short field. Anytime Oklahoma had a short field, of course they're going to score. And whereas you look at the second half of the game, Bama had them in negative territory, which made it difficult for them to score because Oklahoma, they can't sustain a long drive. They have to have that advantage in the field position so they can score not quickly, but somewhat in a timely fashion. Um, Once Bama made those adjustments defensively, all you had to do was blitz Mateer. If you blitz Mateer, he's either gonna run, he's gonna scramble, or he's gonna scramble, overthrow somebody, or throw an interception. You already know they didn't have a right back. So if you blitz Mateer, put your hands on them, you're gonna rattle them. Once they start blitzing and getting to him, he throws the pick six. Once he threw the pick six, if you notice, he became very hesitant with his throws, which is why in the second half they focused on throwing to the middle of the field because Kane Womack it was really the backer versus the tight ends, and then once you go over the top of that backer, they can't cover that. So defensively,
Yeah.
they played a good game, even though Oklahoma was able to go up 17 in the first half, but that was due to the short field. Offensively, the thing that I liked was that they switched up the formations and they switched up the play call. They started attacking the edge, started going to the outside instead of going in the middle, keeping tight in the pocket and trying to pick them apart. Anybody knows with a great defense and a great blitz and defense, the weakness is going to be the outside because when they're blitzing, they're coming at a straight line. Where if you go towards the outside and attacking the perimeter, guess what? They keeps the defense on their heels. So
You gotta force them to change
there was
direction.
also a
They gotta
play
change direction. Yeah.
where it was a bunch formation to the boundary and they hand the ball off the heel and he got a 29-yard gain. Again, you running away from the blitz instead of trying to attack it. Also, with the pass game, mixed it up, had some hitches, had some, I call them replacement routes, where the receiver would just sit where their outside backer used to be, get you a few yards. For example, the one Brooks scored on for the first touchdown of the game. Also, taking some shots downfield with one-on-one coverage with the safeties. I did a good job. Now, granted, the wind was blowing, but still, you got to give the receivers a chance to make an easy catch instead of making it difficult where they have to adjust to the ball. So with that, kudos to Ryan Grubb to mixing it up because I think, in all honesty, by him switching up the formations and pretty much going to a up tempo, that confused the defense and it also caused Brent Venables to kind of panic a little bit because he can't just send them in blitz and then just play zone on the back end. But
And he couldn't get his pack. And he couldn't get his packages in there with that up tempo. Kind of had to
so
stay base.
so going back to what I said with the SEC grind, they pretty much played the toughest schedule in the SEC. So now you finna go up against Indiana who can stop the run. But what's gonna be very interesting, can you guard those five wideouts for Bama? Now, granted, Ohio State has two. Last time I checked, five is greater than two. So do you have a secondary that can guard all five guys for 60 minutes? And I also wonder, with Bama having those five guys, are they going to play man or are they going to play zone? Because if you play man, God forbid, Ryan Williams is struggling, but still, you don't want to play man against him. You also got Horton, who's 6'4".
Another thing with Ryan Williams too as well. You know, when a shooter is struggling with his shot, he just need the ball. He just need to see the ball go in the basket, whether it's a
That's it.
layup, a
That's
free
it.
throw, or a corner three. I think with
That's
Ryan
it.
Williams, his layups or a corner three or free throw shot would be, as we talked about, bubble screens, flare screens,
Yeah.
something quick and easy. It don't even matter how many yards he get. He just need to see himself catch the
Catch the
bring it
ball.
in, and then do what he do.
And make
'Cause
a
even on the-
play.
yeah. So
And then
it's just like,
I hate that for him because I don't feel like they're giving him a chance to do that. I feel like they are kind of using him now as a decoy in the offense, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but also it's not a good thing for him mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like you said, he's a shooter right now. He's a baseball player. He need to see the bat and the ball connect. He need to see the ball go through the hoop. He need a easy toss and just go make 5-10 yards to get your confidence back in yourself. And I hopefully in the Rose Bowl, we utilize him a little bit, get his confidence back. People still question whether or not he gonna transfer, and I don't think a down year means you're gonna transfer. The guy's 18, you 18 years old, man. You due for a bad season. It's okay. You just move on to the next one. But he just need to see the ball go through the hoop right now.
as far as another. And shout out to Big Time Bernard too. I know I messed up with the catch that I guess he got lost in the lights, but he made one of the highlight catches of the year. Everybody want to compare it to Pro Throw, all that good stuff. So he did, like, way to go up and get that.
It's
What I'm saying?
crazy.
Be a dog. Be a
Somebody
dog.
asked me that. Somebody asked me that today. They was like, that catch or Pro Throw, and I was like, what?
Pro Throw every day of the week, twice on
mean,
Pro
Sunday.
Throw was running a full speed post going forward.
Yes.
He caught the ball behind somebody going forward.
And that is a
then,
5'7", 5'8" receiver we talking about. Like,
yeah. But yeah, Jeremy had a good catch, but ain't no Pro Throw.
But yeah, like I said, as far as that run game, you look at Hill's numbers compared to Jams, and you need to see this is the guy that needs to be getting the bulk of the carries. Now, I don't know what it is, and because in certain situations with the pass blocking, but work on that. But like, he needs to be the guy, the workhorse back, if Alabama wants to, like you say, keep going
Advance.
far in this playoffs. Because like I said, the limited touch, less than 10 touches with almost 5 yards of carry, like, that's pretty good.
Now,
What's
I
up?
can't say with the pass protection, some of that is on the play call. If you got empty and you got 6 people in the box with 5 linemen, that's going to be a sack because you're leaving a person free. So some of that is play calling too. It was one play. I think it was I want to say it was the second series with number 10. I seen him on the edge. I said, it's going to be a sack. The man came scot-free and hit Ty. Luckily, it wasn't a turnover. So part of it is the play call and protection too. Like, come on, man. This man scot-free. He ran back there and hit the man. So a lot of that.
I don't know if they got anything, because I know, like, at the NFL level, like, if the quarterback, because I see Dak do it a lot, he'll say kill, kill, kill. If it's one linebacker or even 2 linebackers in the box, he'll check it to a run play. Next thing you know, 4, 5, 6 yards. I don't know if Bama per se has that, because that would alleviate a lot. Like, it would be a lot of runs, like I said, a lot of plays that are probably turned into 4, 5, 6 yard gains, and you're winning on first down, winning on second down, and making it favorable.
That also plays right into my thought process that Ty is not ready for the NFL. Identifying pressure and being able to pick up the blitz and adjust plays is not his forte right now. And playing against the blitz also is not his forte. He needs more game reps to be able to identify blitzes as opposed to coverages right now. Because he can identify coverage, but a blitz, he ain't doing too good with it.
Yeah.
He gonna get killed.
So it's just a lot of, and once again, 2
His
weeks to prepare for this game. Like I said, what better do you have, or going against a team you already faced that you barely lost to, and now you still get another 2 weeks to prepare for your next game. So that's some other things that you can also incorporate. Like, hey, if you're reading, they got 1 in the box or 2 in the box, hey, check it to a run play. If it's not empty, obviously, but if it is empty and the running back's out there, motion them back to the backfield, halfback inside zone, 4, 5, 6 yards. We winning on first and second down. You want to make it easy on third down. Granted, hopefully there's no penalties being called. Somebody just getting blown up on the play, because there's a lot of that going on too. There's a lot of plays, like we had a play where I think, when we was trying to kill the game, Ryan Williams streaking down the field, but Jaden Roberts didn't even get a hand on the guy. Like, it's certain situations that Ty can't even do nothing about. And like stuff like that, when players just get beat off the ball, like, so you can't do nothing about that. But it's a lot of stuff that we can control, per se, instead of having all these negative plays. Can't be a team taking all these negative plays, and then, like, to Dre's point, the slow starts. Like, we used to get off to the quick start, like the Georgia game. Ryan Williams drop a pass, but we come back, we still score on that drive. There's a lot of games, Missouri game, except for the Vanderbilt game, but Missouri game, well, we actually did have a pretty good start to Vandy game. Just turned the ball over because they kind of baited us into a play. Missouri game, opening drive, we go out there and score. Tennessee game, if I'm not mistaken, go out there and score it. Went downhill from there after that bye week. Going into LSU, it just seemed like it kind of slowed down as far as the hot starts. So hopefully we get this tempo back. Because sometimes, and then like it's sometimes, and like, of course you want to score, but sometimes it's just like finding your footing in the game. Like, okay, can we get a few first downs, get in rhythm, and then can we pin this team back versus always being the one stuck on our side of the field. And also as well, like, Brooks, you see the offense is struggling. Why are you trying to return kicks, knowing we can't move the ball right now? One of them drives, we got stuck at the 15-yard line. So it's like they say, all three phases, man. So, like, it's stuff like that can help us out too. Like, starting at the 25 compared to the 15 is a whole lot better. So it's all them little nuances, the game within the game, all these little scenarios that play into a game that affect the outcome of a game. Shout out to Kona Talty too, man. He's made his last 4 kicks. I don't want to jinx him. Made 2 in the Iron Bowl. He didn't get a chance to kick in the SC Championship game. So there's that. And then these 2 with the win. And their kicker, Lou Groza Award, Mr. Daisy Duke himself, made it 24 straight kicks and then missed, I guess you can say, 2 crucial kicks.
You got nerves.
And one of them was pretty much an extra point. Put
him in some tough spots.
Yeah. So, but shout out to the Tide, man. On to the next round. It's gonna be a lot of great games in the quarterfinals. I think this is what we really here to see in this quarterfinal. But I will ask, we don't have to cover the games, but do you think they need to remove G5 bids, or do you think they need to just limit it to 1?
No, remove. I say remove them. What's the point? Put your best 12 teams in there.
Yeah,
if they wanna compete with the big
dogs,
move to the conference. That's that common sense. Move to the conference. Yeah. So you could have very well
disagree with that.
And shout out to the FCS, because I actually, you said what?
Notre Dame and Texas in there. That would have been more entertaining than that. Like, come on. I mean, now, granted, I didn't play Power 5 football, and even not, like, come on, man. They're just like if they play Alabama State in there. No. We know we should get one. Don't put us.
Alabama State ain't even ready for the FCS playoff.
You know what I'm talking about? Don't put us in. I do not want a participatory trophy. No. Don't put me in there unless I got a legit shot to win.
But how do you resolve this issue? Because you can't make a whole separate G5. I know, like, March Madness is basketball. They got the of course they got March Madness, and then they got the NIT. You can't really do that with football. So it's just like,
unless you go to the only other thing you can do is go to a play-in.
That's the only
and create that extra game.
Give the first 10 teams an auto bid, and then 11 through 14 they battle it out.
Play for 11
and 12. It could be on the way. I mean,
that's the best way to do it.
You got to think about it. Yeah, and you got to think about it from the aspect of how they want their money to roll.
Yeah.
So,
because then another thing too, your nightcapper was James Madison in Oregon.
I went to sleep on that.
Yeah, it was background noise after, like, James Madison, like, they came out fighting, but like once I seen when James Madison, they blocked that field goal, like, yeah, this was y'all chance to kind of keep some confidence. Yeah, this is over. So, granted, Oregon took their foot off the gas in the second half, and the score looks closer than what it is, but we all know, anybody that knows.
That wasn't on.
But that,
you know.
Yeah, but Like I said, hats off to the Tide, man. Shout out to Miami, to you. Can't wait for that matchup. I'm more excited about that matchup than, the home
Yeah,
team, to be
that one
honest
gonna
with
be
you.
good. Yeah, that one gonna
Because
be
I
good.
think they got a shot to upset. I
If
wouldn't be
they
surprised if
offense,
Ohio State does
if
Ohio
they
State
offense
things,
come
but
to play, they got a shot.
they got a stout enough defense. It'll be just like the Big Ten championship all over again, honestly.
Also, they
Or the
got
first round between A&M and Miami, if we're being
what
honest.
what a lot of folks not understanding. Speed play a difference. So we about to see Big Ten, ACC, Big Ten, SEC. Shit, that speed make a difference. And you on a neutral site, the weather too. Ain't nobody
Well,
gonna
I'm not
have
gonna
against
necessarily say
that.
for Ohio State, because Ohio State actually can recruit in the states where all the speed is at
I'm
compared
not
to
talking about. I'm not
Indiana.
talking
They
about
gotta
recruiting.
get in the portal and get
I'm talking
guys
about the
with the
game. I
speed.
ain't talking about recruiting. I'm talking about when they play. That's what I'm talking about. Game.
Oh yeah. No, I know that. What I'm saying, but Ohio State got guys with speed. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they paid them to come there, but that's another story. For example, Bama and Indiana, both think that there's gonna be
Everybody.
they think Indiana gonna run with it. Okay, we gonna see once Bama get healthy. And
Yeah, that's
if I'm
crazy.
not mistaken, the boys undefeated coming off a bye week, right? If I'm not mistaken, he might have lost one game. I'm not sure.
No, he is.
You get him time, then we
No,
get
I know
over
at Bama
to
he
that.
undefeated coming off a bye.
Come on now, this thing gonna
But then
hit different.
again, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. What I was actually wanting to say about that, but
Then you getting the boys 2 weeks of rest.
shut down the Michigan rumor. But
Okay. You getting them boy 2 weeks of rest.
yeah,
They just whoop over
2 weeks
line.
to. Like I said, it's like they found new life. They found new life being down 17-0. So
And
it's
it's
just like,
not an
cause y'all,
extra.
like I said, y'all can sit here and talk about, oh, well, this Oklahoma team wasn't that good. Y'all was ready to pound the table though when Alabama was losing, laughing all on the internet about it. It's just like, this is why football is 60 minutes, man. But here we
So yeah,
are,
we gonna see a
New Year's
different
Day.
team.
Got a great slate, got a trio. I'll let you wrap it up, man. I'm done.
Nah, that was it. You go close.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Elephant in the Room podcast. Happy holidays out there to everybody. We will be back. I want to say, before the quarterfinal games actually start, because Ohio State is the lone player on New Year's Eve. So we'll, do our preview of each matchup from Ohio State game on New Year's Eve, and then of course the slate of games on New Year's. So we're about to take us a nice long break. Very much needed. Free Jack State. I will be getting back on that soon for all those who follow my gaming channel on my YouTube. I will be back on that. I don't know what Finn has for the streets. I know Dre's doing his thing over there. Y'all boys be safe. Elephant in the Room out. Roll Tide.